It's your boy, Really Jordan, and today we're going to be looking at 17-year-old killer leaves bodies in local dumpster. Um, I have no expectations. I feel like the title is pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, I like looking at crime stuff, so yeah, I mean, it's a 20-minute video, so let's get straight into it. Yeah.
Police are at the Morning Tree Park apartment complex after reports of a dead body in the area. Lying next to the dumpster is a body with multiple stab wounds so brutally beaten that it's nearly unrecognizable.
You have a good face shot. The guy's not a good face shot. It's like this. That's why I was associated.
Officers immediately suspected that one of the tenants in the complex was the killer, but they would be horribly wrong.
There was like blood all over the ground by the dumpster, and that his head looked like a smashed watermelon.
Beat the f*** out of him and then stabbed him in the head.
That's when he started getting him. He hit him a couple of times and then stomped him a couple of times.
A violent, unpredictable teen killer was on the loose, and police needed to find him before he murders again.
Step out of the apartment now. You are surrounded.
Doors open.
Police department!
In the early morning of July
hell, this
30th,
is recent as
2023, Lakewood police received a call from the Morning Tree Park apartment complex. The caller reported finding something next to a dumpster, describing it as gruesome. Officers were quickly dispatched to investigate.
So who was the one that saw him? Who called? You did, sir?
Me.
So what happened? What did you see? Like, how did this all...
Why is she recording?
Me and her, was kind of like dumpster digging, right? And I see this red stuff,
Sounds about right.
you know, we can have the dumpster. So I went in there, and I see his body in there.
While
Bro's
dumpster diving,
traumatized.
Ted had come across
He's
blood
traumatized.
leaking out from under the dumpster. When he looked inside, he found an elderly man lying lifeless, bloodied and beaten until his
Elderly.
face was no longer recognizable. Officers now needed to identify both the victim and the person responsible. Fortunately, there was someone at the complex who could help them with the former.
So,
I see his blood.
yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out...
What?
if
What the
you
fuck?
might-
What was
sounds
funny?
like that he's one of your residents.
I can look.
This is Ryan, the apartment complex manager, and he's going to be vital in finding out who the victim actually is.
Because we don't have him ID, right?
No, we don't.
Okay, so
Nobody-
let's...
That's not the right, yeah.
For now.
So we recognize this guy? Obviously, it's not the best picture, but... You think you know who he is?
Possibly. If I can see the picture again, it'd be better to identify now.
How about you just give me the name, I can bring up DOL.
He wouldn't be in there.
What's that?
He wouldn't be in there.
Well,
Bro's
I'm
laughing.
sure he'll have some
I don't know if he's laughing because he's nervous.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
Never?
No.
Okay.
He's a really nice guy, actually, though. I mean, I had a relationship with him, you know, like friend-wise. He don't even trust like anybody with like social security cards or anything. He won't sign a lease. So he'd probably be about 63, 65, somewhere in there. He's partially African American, but he's really light skinned.
Skinny, tall,
Yes.
skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be Leonard.
What's his last name?
And we're working on that
Bring the
right
computer
now.
out. Well, they're turning their computers on right now, right?
You want to come with me? I can just give you a key. I'll give you a ride over there and ride back if you want.
No, we'll drive over there to go check on him. But yeah, but she's still trying to pull the data.
Yeah, but I can pull a key for you and she'll get that.
Yep, we'll go check on him. So
All right.
A9, I will meet you over there.
I'll meet you. Yeah.
The officers finally had a name, Leonard, but that doesn't solve their biggest problem. According to the manager, Leonard suffered from extreme paranoia and refused to have any form of identification associated with the government. Without proper identification, the investigation would soon become a lot more challenging. Still, officers would search their system, hoping something might come up.
Find it.
I thought a couple. We just have to start running them for
Any DOL or prior bookings or anything? There's bookings. That's
2019.
okay. Now he's dealing with crap too. Okay, we're gonna go to A9 and see if this guy's there. Okay. So Megan, no, do you mind talking to my partner? He's the one that's primary.
Okay.
We're gonna go
What
check
the
that
hell is he
apartment that
doing
you
with
gave
a
us. Make sure
rooster?
there's no one in there. But if you want to sit down and hang out,
Okay.
While officers continued searching the database for possible matches, others went to check the supposed victim's apartment.
The fuck is this,
and
goddamn
with help from the
GTA?
manager, they quickly got the key.
Leonard, Lakewood Police, we just need to know that you're okay. If you want to, we'll just announce for Leonard.
Yep. I could yell for him.
Well, both can. Go ahead.
Hey, Leonard. Leonard.
You're in here. Let us know.
After a quick look around the apartment, Leonard was nowhere to be found. At the same time, officers had just matched the victim's face to Leonard's image using police database. So there was no doubt now, the victim was 64-year-old Leonard Williams. Neighbors and
Is he
staff
partially
described
black?
Leonard as a friendly and compassionate person.
Oh, he looked
Although he often
Filipino.
kept to himself, he was known to be extremely kind to fellow residents. But the investigation was far from over. Officers still had to determine who was behind
what's
the brutal
weird?
attack and
When like
why.
when people get like murdered or
Back at
something
the
bad
scene,
happens to them,
one officer had discovered
I
some
never once
crucial
seen
evidence
somebody be
that
like,
would
"No,
bring
he
the
was a
police
terrible
one
person."
step closer to the
like,
killer.
God forbid something happened to
Okay,
me.
so if you walk that way,
I want my
and
friends to be
actually,
honest,
obviously
like,
it's dark
nah,
now,
Jordan was
but if
fucked
you
up.
Walk that route that you just said, and somebody
Nah,
happened
Jordan
to shine
talking a
their
lot of
lights
shit.
into the dumpster area, you would
I
see
would-
him
I would
laying
be-
there. Was there any trash
I'd be looking down like,
outside
yeah, that was me.
of the dumpster area, the path that you guys would have walked?
This officer just picked up on something crucial. The area around the dumpster was extremely messy, and blood was leaking from it. Any person would have easily spotted that, let alone an officer. Turns out, just 12 hours earlier, police had been dispatched to that same apartment complex on a noise disturbance complaint. The call was made around 8 p.m., and the responding officer's dash cam shows him returning to his vehicle by walking through the side path, the exact one that leads up to the dumpster where Leonard was found. The officer didn't notice any leaking blood or hear suspicious commotion, which means that whatever had occurred had happened after the officer left. From this, the timeline of the murder was vastly narrowed. But more importantly, the disturbance call that the officer responded to had been made about a group of teenagers from the apartment complex unit J54. According to the manager, this group was well known for partying several days of the week and not paying their rent on time. However, little did they know that the police would catch on to what they were doing at last night's party and why there was a dead body just a few feet away from their apartment. As this was the only lead that police had, a search warrant for Unit J54 was issued, and officers quickly arrived at the residence looking for any signs of foul play.
Get the manager.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Brittany, Lakewood Police. Anybody else inside here with you?
Oh,
Okay, fine, let's scoot over here for a second, okay? Who's all in here with you?
just moving to the people.
Where are they at?
I don't really know.
What are their names?
Jaden,
Jaden and who?
Jaden and Ty.
Jaden and Ty, come on out. Come on out. Ty, come on out, Lakewood Police. Where's he at?
It was to the corner store.
What's that?
He went to the corner
You
store.
went to the corner store?
When officers arrived, Alina and Jaden were found inside the apartment. One of the teens, named Ty, seemed to have fled when officers arrived and was nowhere to be found in the unit. His friends claimed he went to the corner store to buy some snacks, but officers would soon discover that was a complete lie. For now, though, officers decided to interview the group, unaware one of them was about to confess to the gruesome details of Leonard's murder.
Obviously,
Before we
it's
continue,
Ty.
life can
Ty's the only one
change
that
in
they
an
blurred
instant.
out.
That's what happened in November 2021, when a father of two was tragically shot and killed while attending a pop-up party held at an Orlando business
what?
complex that lacked proper security. His grieving family needed help fighting for accountability, facing powerful property owners. They turned to the sponsors of today's video, Morgan & Morgan. Their experienced attorneys fought hard and secured an $11 million verdict for the family. If you're seriously hurt because someone else was negligent, your injury could be worth millions. They don't sell for lowball offers.
Hold on.
They fight for the
Why when it
maximum
comes to shit
compensation
like
you deserve if you
insurance
become their
companies is
client.
Huffman and
Crucially,
Huffman,
unless they win your case,
fucking
the fee is
Morgan and
absolutely
Morgan.
free. You
That's
pay
always
nothing
like,
if they
do
don't
they
win
think
for
that's
you.
attractive
They've
to
achieved
us? Like, oh,
significant
shit.
verdicts recently.
They got the
They
same
won
name. I
$12
trust
million
them.
for a car crash
No.
victim in Florida
No,
and
not at all.
$26 million in Philadelphia, often getting 30 or
I mean,
40
since it
times
makes it
more than the
easier to
insurance
remember,
companies
like, who
initially
you gonna call?
offered.
Morgan and
Wondering if
Morgan.
you have a case? It takes only a few
Other than
minutes
that,
to
it's
find
like,
out.
bro,
You can
like-
start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan by visiting
doesn't make you cool.
www.forthepeople.com
Having two of the same names in the same
/insanity
title, Morgan and
bodycam
Morgan,
down in
Jordan
the
and Jordan.
description, or
Like,
by
up and
scanning the
up. Like,
QR
bro,
code on the screen.
stop it.
With that said, let's get back to the investigation. Officers were about to interview the teens who remained in the apartment, suspecting they know more than they've let on.
Shit, I forgot I had one.
Not here?
Yep. Do you know why we're here?
Yeah.
You're not. So I'll make it clear to you. You're not in trouble right now, but you're a witness to something, and so we need to talk about that. Okay?
I was in.
I got video.
Oh,
You
I'm
can
about to
say
say,
I'm
how
a
the
witness,
fuck?
and I understand, but when I heard
How the fuck they gonna be like, he's a witness? If he didn't see it, he didn't see it, but they said they got
What did you
video,
do?
so I was confused.
I heard that he beat up this dude for really no reason. He said
Chubbs.
that the homeless guy stepped to him, or the homeless guy like asked for a cigarette or shit.
First
How well
off,
do you know
Lenard wasn't homeless. He had a
Chubbs,
fucking
I've
apartment.
known him for like a month.
So, do you know what happened here the other night? Yeah, what happened? Tell me a little bit about it.
Oh shit, she's a
Chubbs had
crip.
a little incident.
I can't. You can
Chubbs had a little incident.
Yeah. What was Chubb's incident?
By the garbage can.
Yeah.
You don't know?
Well, I know what happened already. Okay.
Chubbs just would get mad and people would say
My
that
fucking name was Chubbs.
he
I'd
would
be
do
mad
it,
too.
he
The fuck?
wouldn't do it, and he'd just go on and do it. But
So Chubbs definitely had an angry problem.
yeah, when he's drunk, he would get very violent.
Okay.
He would be very unhappy. The next thing you know, Chubbs flies open the door and he looks at me and he's got this smile on his face. He's like, I'm so sorry, but I did something really bad and I made a big mistake and I really didn't need to do it. And I go, what'd you do? And that's when his smile completely shut off. So I think he realized, like, he really just took somebody's life. And then he's like, I killed somebody outside.
Did he tell you how he killed him?
They didn't call the cops?
How did he?
He beat the fuck out of him and then stabbed him in the throat. This guy is laying down on the side of his face.
They didn't call the
against
cops.
this way.
Mm-hmm.
All you see
So is that what?
is him
Is that
just,
accessory
like,
to murder?
down on the ground recording him and then just starts kicking him.
I don't know.
Like it's a joke.
With these two new crucial statements, police now had two suspects at large, Chubbs and Ty, with their primary focus being on 17-year-old Brody Chubbs Brownell. According to Alina, Brody had two
Bro
bottles of
definitely
tequila
has a
and
touch
was
of
also
Down
high on
syndrome.
marijuana the previous night. To make matters worse, he had a reputation for getting violent when drunk. At some point, he briefly stepped outside the apartment and happened to cross paths with Leonard in the parking lot. Leonard may have confronted him about the loud music, or, given his paranoia, he might have simply been talking to himself. Either way, Brody likely saw him as an easy target, and Leonard became the victim of his violent outburst. Alina was also the first to mention something even more disturbing. Brody had recorded the entire thing on Snapchat. He filmed himself beating and stabbing Leonard to death, then sent the video to friends at the party. With Brody as their prime suspect, officers
Look, he's
remained on
definitely
high
got Down
alert,
syndrome.
going so far as to request air support in search for him. In the meantime, police were notified about a male who was running around the Morning Tree complex. He was identified to be Trey Crystal, or Ty, the one who fled from Alina's apartment when the officers had arrived with the search warrant. Shortly after confirming his identity, he agreed to speak with detectives. Detectives needed to determine whether Ty had played any role in the murder, and if he knew where Brody was hiding.
Just tell me a story. Just take me from the beginning to the end. What happened that night?
Yeah, he ended up really drunk, and then he was like trying to fight everyone at the party, but no one would fight him because either they would win and then he was like backing down or stuff like that.
Okay.
So he couldn't fight anyone there, and so he went outside all mad. And then there was this homeless dude or whoever it was walking by, and then he was like, "Oh, keep stepping, keep walking." And then the homeless dude was like, "All right," and then he was like just walking away. And then Chubbs just started getting mad and then just like ran up on him and punched him. And
You
then he just
snuck
started
him?
stomping on him. After a minute or two, he went up inside and then he like grabbed the knife and everyone was trying to stop him, but like he was kind of scary with the knife because he was really drunk.
According to Ty, he fled the apartment out of fear. Although Ty's statement aligned with those of other witnesses, police couldn't definitively rule him out due to his suspicious behavior.
Oh, God.
But for now, their priority was finding Brody. While the search was still ongoing, officers interviewed everyone who knew Brody to find out where he might have fled, including two of his best friends, Miguel Ventura and Dakota Johnson.
I ended up going, basically there was a party posted up that was over at one of our female friends' Britt's house, and eventually Chubbs, I guess he stormed outside. He got really upset.
Bro got Down syndrome,
he was
right?
drinking 1800 at the time, like type of tequila. There was someone standing by the garbage cans, and he got really angry at him because I think they were staring at him. He just got closer to him, and I think the dude yelled something at him, and then he just started swinging on him. I get down the stairs, and then that's when he started getting him. He hit him a couple of times, and then stomped him a couple of times. And by that point, like it was too much. Like it was just.
But
a lot.
nobody
I grabbed him
called
by
the
his chest
fucking
and everything.
cops.
I tried to pull him.
Was there anybody else that was hitting the guy? Was there anybody else kicking him, hitting him, punching, stomping him? And you had text messages with him shortly after. Can you kind of explain to me about those text messages?
It was like the day after he had done it.
Okay.
He did coke and he beat the crap out of this guy and killed him and stabbed him in the neck. And then there was like blood all over the ground by the dumpster, and that his head looked like a smashed watermelon. He told me that he tried to put him in the trash can himself, but he couldn't do it. So that's why he stabbed him in the neck.
While officers continued interviewing witnesses, Brody had just been
Weak
located
ass,
hiding in his
bro.
family home 40
Look at
minutes
bro.
away in the city of Yelm. A SWAT team quickly descended on the residence,
put him in a
ready to
trash
take
can, so
Brody
I stabbed
down
him in
if
the
he
neck.
made any.
That doesn't
wrong
even make
move.
no fucking sense.
Hey, you three? If there's people milling around up front, we're going to detain them right off the bat. So
Oh,
you
God,
gotta go
get
ahead
him.
as soon as they move up.
They run or we're letting them run, right?
Yeah.
The wee
All
woos,
right,
get him.
that team's rolling up. Male in the stairwell.
Bro said he stabbed him in the
This is
neck
first
because he
entryway
couldn't throw him
right
in
down
a
the right.
fucking trash
Hey,
can.
move up.
I don't know why that made me so fucking mad.
Move up. I want to be
They
able to
told
see
him
that
keep
door.
walking. He said, all right, and
Hey,
kept
let's
walking.
bring it,
and
let's
he
bring it
moved.
back here.
You
No
a
sense of
bitch.
standing
Oh,
out
God.
there.
You a bitch on my
No sense
mommy.
of
You
staying
a
out
bitch.
there. There we go. All right, I got hands on her. Okay. You got cuffs? Yep. Okay. All right, step this way.
Bro, that shit is. Rest in peace, Leonard.
Just
bro.
keep
You-
your hands up.
Yo, Chubbs, you a bitch. On my
your
mommy, you
phone
a
and your
bitch.
drink
Bro.
on that little concrete barrier right there.
What'd he do?
Now I want you to step out to me. Come on.
He doesn't even look like Chubbs.
Put your hands on your head, flip around, face the building.
Okay. We're good for
Keep
right now.
walking down.
We're just detaining one more.
Hey,
What
come
the hell
down.
did brother do?
Set it down right there. Now put your hands on top of your head and step over to me. I appreciate your cooperation.
I don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
I'm like, what the hell?
Brian and Jeff, the first two to come out, were Brody's friends, staying in the apartment with him. The two claimed they didn't have any knowledge of what was going on or why Brody was being arrested. The next one to come out was their primary target, Brody himself.
Remember, I took a study of that.
Took a what?
You guys can even hang here. We're just going to send an entry team out. Just want eyes on them. Okay.
Hey, Jay, just for your knowledge, cell phone and Sprite belong to white t-shirt. Cell phone and what he was holding, black t-shirt.
Okay. All right.
Good?
That
Kevin.
Sprite sounds fire right now.
What we got? Ryan, Casas, Mike, and I are going to move up. You guys hold the windows.
Hey, that's primary on
Yep.
there. Primary right there.
All right, black shirt. Start walking this way. Start walking this way. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking.
Come here. Walk to me. Face the building. Put your hands on your head.
All right, primary's in custody.
Brody was finally escorted from the house and delivered into the hands of justice. He was charged with assault and homicide in the first degree.
Good.
He had originally pled not guilty, receiving a bail of $1.5 million.
Why the
Neither
fuck did he
Ty
get
nor anyone
bail?
else at the party was charged, as the Snapchat video clearly shows that Brody acted alone, consistent with witness statements. Although
has
the
a
exact
fucking
motive for the murder
sergeant
remains unclear,
chevrons.
Brody's extreme intoxication and well-documented issues with aggression led to the tragic death of a kind and gentle person. Following his initial hearing, Brody returned to court and changed his plea to guilty. He received the maximum sentence of 25 years in prison.
No, fuck that. No, hell no. Fuck that. No. All right. What year is it? That was 2023, 25. Thought they got 2048. All right. But that was the video. Yeah, I don't. Rest in peace, Leonard. I don't. Like I said, I'm not. Yeah, bro. I don't even know what the fuck am I trying to say. They said that they told Leonard to keep walking. He kept walking. Bro said, "All right," and just kept walking, and you sneak him. Then you beat him to death. Then because you're weak as fuck and couldn't put him in the trash can, you stabbed him in the fucking neck, bro. A 63-year-old fucking man. Now, wasn't homeless, by the way. He had an apartment. And, like, there's a video on it. You videoed you taking a man's life. And nobody said nothing. A random person dumpster diving called the police. That shit just made me so fucking mad. And all he got is 25 years. Taking a man's life, he got 25 years. There's people serving that term for fucking marijuana. You took a man's life and is only doing 25 years. All right, bro. Hey, man. Yeah. Rest in peace, Leonard. Or Leonard. Leonard. I think they keep saying in the video. Chubbs, you a bitch. Or my mommy, you a bitch. Ty, I don't trust you either. But yeah.